Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Sarah. I'm the Real Simple Mama. It is a nasty winter day out here at Jurassic Park, but we have some important stuff to talk about. This video is going to tell you my complete list about everything you need to do for your chickens, your chicken coop, and your run once a year. Happy New Year, happy 2022, everybody. And because it is so new in a new year, I thought it would be appropriate for me to come out here with the girls who are eating suet blocks and just overall I don't know, totally destroying stuff. We're gonna go through my complete list about the deep cleaning and the kind of necessary chicken chores that you need to do once a year. Now, of course, I made this video in January, but you can decide any time of year that is appropriate to do this. Whether you wanna do it in January, you wanna do it at the beginning of the summer, it's totally up to you, but this is my full list. Also, I'm gonna be talking fast, and this is not going to get into any kind of detail. It's just a basic overview. So if you want more details, if you wanna get more information on any of these things, you can put questions down below in the comments. You can check out the linked videos that I always have going up at the top, the thumbnails, or of course you can always email me here if you want some more information. So the once a year, just thorough check of everything. If we're talking about the chicken coop, there's a couple of things that you need to do once a year. And again, whatever your reminder system is, whether you want to use the chicken tenders journal that which I created and I'm selling, you can see that link in the video description. Or you set alarms on a physical calendar, on any kind of iOS calendar. Make sure that you do this once a year. First of all, you need to seal your chicken coop. That means you need to go to a hardware store and you need to get any kind of sealant, a wood sealant that is a weatherproof, waterproof. It's going to protect it not only against the bleaching of the sun over the next year, but of course all of the other elements, particularly getting wet. So you need to seal your coop once a year. I would do it during the day while your flock is not in the coop. You know, they're outside, they're away. The stuff usually dries within 30 minutes or so. I don't use an expensive one. I use one that comes in a can. I get it at the local hardware store, and then I paint it on with a brush. Again, do it once a year. Do it to all of the exterior wood, as well as anything that can potentially get messy. So I actually also do the roost bars to protect it some more against the chicken droppings get on it. And I also do around the nesting boxes or anywhere where there might be water that comes in if the wind is blowing kind of funny, but seal the coop once a year. The next thing is that you need to deep clean your coop once a year. I honestly do it between 3 and 4 times a year. And again, that depends on how many chickens you have, what kind of space you've got. But do a deep clean of the coop. And I mean, we're going to dust everything. We change out all of the material. I literally get a leaf blower and blow out all of the nooks and crannies because I don't want any kind of mites or anything hanging in there. You can get a more detailed idea here if you want to see that video about how to deep clean your coop, but do that once a year as well. Finally, when it comes to the coop itself, if you have any kind of electrical stuff, anything that uses batteries. Hi, Flopsy. Hey, honey. What are you doing? Sorry, she's like my little Vanna White. She's like, and actually, she had some commentary. If you use any kind of electrical batteries, anything like that, just make a reminder once a year that you're going to change those. The only electrical that I really have going on is I have an automatic coop door. And if you want to see that video review, you can here. By the way, all of my reviews are honest because I actually pay for all of this stuff. I'm not giving things for free, so you can get the honest review, but I change those batteries out actually every 6 months because I don't want to have to worry about the batteries running down. But if you choose to use any kind of electrical around your chicken coop, please just do a quality check. Make sure there aren't squirrels, mice, chickens, anybody going through cables. You don't have anything that looks like it's unsafe. That way you can tape things up or repair or replace things as needed. When it comes to the chicken run and the entire area, I have one major task that I need you to do once a year. And of course, this is once a year at minimum, right? I mean, you could do this once a month if you want, is you need to go around the entire chicken run. And I'll be honest, it's probably ideal if you or your child can go around on all fours and you want to do a predator check. You want to make sure there isn't any spot anywhere on the edges of your chicken run, whether it's at ground level or it's up coming from above, right, with the flying predators, right, Carmen? You want to make sure that everything still is locked down tight, because there are a lot of predators. Even if you live in a neighborhood and you're like, oh, we don't have any predators. Yes, you do. You may not see them, you may not know they're there, but they're around. And a lot of those predators are incredibly intelligent, whether it's a bird of prey like a hawk, falcon, owl, whether it's an animal like a possum or a raccoon. A lot of them are really intelligent, and once they find a weakness, they will continue to come back every day or every night until they get in. And then it's like, sweet, the buffet is open, and then they will just keep coming back. So you want to be looking around, and I've got a whole bunch of predator videos that you can check out, but you're looking all the way around to make sure there's not like a weak spot where they're digging. You want to make sure that you have all of the best locks all the way around on your chicken coop. Do bird netting. As you can see, I've got some spots where I need to do repairs. So I've bought another of the same bird netting. You can see the review here if you want to see how and why I did it. But I'm going to be redoing that so that that is locked down tight. And you need to remember, maybe it is a good idea for you to do these once a year things in the winter, like in January, because when food is scarce out in the wild, animals are going to be more likely to try to come and get your chickens, to try to come and get baby chicks, and even try to steal the eggs. I had a video just a week or two ago about a squirrel who was coming in and stealing eggs. I mean, they're starving. So you need to do a full check of everything all the way around. Hardware cloth is what you want to use, at least at minimum on your chicken coop hardware cloth. As you can see, I've got tiny hands. I can barely get my finger in there. The only thing that's going to be able to get through there is maybe a mouse and a really tiny baby snake. And honestly, your chickens are going to eat both of those things anyway. So, but you're checking the locks, you're checking all the way around the perimeter, you're checking bird netting, all of that stuff. You need to do a quality check for predators. The final things that I have are things that you need to do on your actual chickens. And this is just personal. This is what I recommend. Of course, you can pick and choose what works for you. But if I haven't done a medical check on my chickens in a while, I do a full medical check. It's easiest to do this, to grab them at night when they're deep asleep, because then it's almost like they're drugged. They're just like, what? And it's really easy for you to see what you need to see. Just get a headlamp, get somebody to help you if possible, wear gloves, and do a full medical check. You could see my video here, but I check everything from the chicken's vent to making sure they don't have signs of fowl pox, which would show up like little black scabby things on their comb and wattles. I check their feet, because you guys know how freaked out I get about bumblefoot. I just check to make sure that they look nice and healthy, that they feel good, that everything just looks right. The next thing is, if you choose to deworm, you could deworm up to twice a year preventatively. So that means once every 6 months. I actually, because I brought in new chickens to my flock, I actually did our biannual deworming in November. But if you haven't, like I said, winter's also a good time to do a lot of this stuff because of the seasons changing. A lot of those mites and parasites, they're going to be really desperate. If they don't go dormant, they're going to be really desperate to try to find a warm body, a nice warm host. So deworming is a great idea this time of year. Also, to be honest, if you choose to not eat your chicken's eggs while they've been wormed, when you've got that 2-week period, the shedding period, in winter, your chickens aren't really laying as much anyway. So it's a good time for you to think about maybe doing the deworming preventatively. You can check for videos here on deworming. There's a medication that I use. It's a type of ivermectin called Ivermax. I've got all types of content here if you want to see that. What's up, Carmen? Tick, 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 tick. Oh, Carmen Hendiego sees something. What is it, Granny? The final thing, if you choose to do it on your chickens, is, and I'll give you just a little bit of background information, chickens molt. After they've hit 1 year old and they're a full-grown hen or a full-grown rooster, they will molt once a year, which is super fun for everybody involved. Molting is where they will shed a decent amount of their feathers. Feathers are not like our hair or our nails, that they continually grow and we continually have to trim them. Once a feather gets to the length and the shape and the size that it's going to be, it doesn't grow anymore. It just stays like that. And so then in the molt, that's sort of like going through them shedding a lot of those feathers. They feel kind of poopy. They don't really lay a lot of eggs. If you've got a hen, sometimes they look pretty pathetic, and their body kind of goes into low power mode for a little while. So once a year, I make sure that I clip all of my chickens' wings. I do have a really quick video if you want to see how. This is so if something were to happen and my chicken escapes, or I didn't have bird netting set up or something, they cannot really fly away. Now, they can still fall with style. They can go a couple of feet, or they can gracefully come. Honestly, mine leap from like the second story right there, and they can make it to like over here. But we're talking about your chicken not being able to fly away. It's only necessary for you to clip one wing. And you don't do all of the feathers. You just do the primaries. And you can see my video if you want us to see, like we splay out the feathers so you can see exactly what to trim. But of course, after your chickens have gone through a molt and they grow all new feathers in, those feathers that you clipped last year, well, they're gone now and you have new full-size feathers. So that's the last thing for you to think of. So let's go really quickly through the list to your once a year checklist of chores to do out with your chickens. With the coop, you want to seal it, you want to deep clean it, and you want to double check, in particular, all of the electrical, batteries, all of that kind of stuff. When it comes to the chicken run, you need to do a really thorough predator check. Just do an overview. You need to check the perimeter. You need to look at bird netting. You need to see where you might need to reinforce or repair something. And then on the chickens themselves, you need to do a full medical check, deworm them if you so choose, and clip their wings if you so choose. So these are things that I personally am choosing to do in January. Like I said, a lot of those chores I do more than once a year, right? Tick, tick, tick. But just some things for you to think about. Again, here's my email address. I have all of those helpful videos if you're looking for more details on how to deep clean your coop, for example, what I recommend, all of that kinds of good stuff. But otherwise, we hope that your 2022 is off to a great start. Ours surely is, and we will be back soon with more content. Thank you.